It's been a long time coming.
Nope. Not doing this.
You gotta have to do this. Dude, seriously, we put this up for too long. You gotta talk about it now. Now we're never gonna get anywhere. It's gonna end up like a Portal 2 Let's Play.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about, in case the video hasn't told you already.
In case of the title of the video, or wherever the heck it is, I don't know. Wherever YouTube decides to put it these days. I don't know anymore. But I'm not here to riff on YouTube. We heard talking about that episode, finally. That episode. That I've been...
And Boast Busters. But first, it's that episode.
I'm gonna have to do this, aren't I?
It's been a long time coming. Better say what you need to say.
Alright. Well, to stall this a little bit more, I'm just gonna talk about... Well, sorry we haven't gotten to this earlier. I had a sore throat for like 2 weeks somehow.
You did that on purpose.
I swear I didn't. I swear. that was merely a coincidence, but in a way...
Anything to put you off of doing this review.
In a way, I'm kind of glad it happened. And...
When you just had some...
Well, after I did get better, we just had... We just had thing after thing after thing with preparing for our move, and our little cousin came over for the 4th of July week, and...
We're also getting back to our Let's Plays and stuff, which we've long neglected.
Yeah, and we finally decided to finish Battle for Bikini Bottom, and we decided to start Sonic Adventure, and this completely got, thrown under the table for everything else. But now that we really have nothing else to do,
let's talk about Griffon the Brush Off. At last.
Alright.
After you.
Alright, I just want to make one thing clear. This, Griffon the Brush Off, is my least favorite episode for this entire show.
Really?
Worse than Merrywell. Worse than Magical Mystery Cure.
Worse than Spike Service?
I think so.
Keep going.
Yeah, that's his least favorite episode. We're getting to that in a while.
Yeah, you're lucky. This one is...
Yeah, this one's over quickly.
But I have to wait.
But anyway, as much as I hate this episode, there's some things in it that I actually do like.
Gilbus.
Other than guild abuse. The first 7.5 minutes of this episode. The first 7.5 minutes are actually not only tolerable, not only enjoyable, but I think is actually... It would have set up for a really good plot for an episode. I mean, it's pretty simple, actually.
So an episode just basically Pinkie Pie and Remo Dash just pranking everybody.
Yeah.
You could have done... The show could have done something like that, just with a different name.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get that wonderful Griffin race then.
No. You be quiet. Alright. But anyway, I think the whole Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash just pranking everyone subplot at the beginning of the episode, that had something going for it.
And it also brought up a point that will later be ignored by...
Well, I'm getting to that. I mean, it makes for some great humor. It pretty much...
Character building?
Yeah. It shows a relationship between Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie. How...
Question.
Well, it's the beginning of the show. They have to build relationships with each other. Now that they're all friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been the perfect way to do that. With characters other than Twilight.
Yeah.
Running in with everything.
Yeah, that was season 1's biggest
I mean,
seriously, having Twilight shoehorn into the plot, even if it
that's the majority of season 1 episodes, but
they fix it later on, thankfully.
This is the first episode to not have Twilight as one of the focus characters. She's barely in this episode. I mean, you had her in the premiere, obviously. Then you had her in the Ticketmaster, and then you had her in Applebuck season.
Even though it was mostly focused on Applejack.
It was mostly focused on Applejack, but Twilight was a huge part in it, too.
Yeah, trying to snap some sense into her.
Mm-hmm. But this is the first episode which doesn't have a focus on Twilight Sparkle at all. She shows up, yes. She shows up in pretty much every single episode of season 1. But this is the first episode without her in the spotlight most of the time. She's in the spotlight for about 20 seconds. It's halfway through the episode.
So this is the first time she turns into a background pony.
Kinda. And, well, yeah, it's just kind of nice to see some other ponies other than Twilight beginning, early on, getting some spotlight. And, well, hey, they work well together. Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie, they both love to just have fun and mess around.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. Do they, after that, do they really have, is there, any time in the show that the two really just, really spend a good amount of time together? Or
I would kind of... No, not even Pinkie Pride, actually. I'm not sure. Can't really think of one right now. And if there is one really obvious one, then,
that's something Season 5 could do. Have a Pinkie Dash moment that doesn't involve shipping!
Yeah. You know what? Shippers, be quiet. Please. Alright. But anyway. So they go around pranking everyone. They prank, they prank Spike. They prank Twilight Sparkle. They prank Applejack.
Those are apples, I think.
They prank Rarity. And then there's one moment in this episode which actually, I noticed, it surpasses part of an episode that I deem one of my favorite episodes of season 4, Philly Vanilli.
Oh yes, the scene where
the scene where Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash are about to prank Fluttershy.
No, it's Rainbow Dash trying to. Pinkie Pie just...
Well, Pinkie Pie doesn't know who they're going to prank, but Rainbow Dash already has Fluttershy picked out as a target. But then Pinkie Pie is like, wait, no, we can't do this. Fluttershy is just too soft for even, simple pranks like this. Well, and she was back then.
Well, yeah. Question, if Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash were to prank her now, would she flip out, or would she actually laugh at it?
She'd be a little spooked, but probably not,
yeah,
terrified.
Fluttershy was definitely will be back in season 1.
Yeah. But, well...
She still has her moments, but she's gotten better, thankfully.
Well, probably the worst offender of that is Dragonshy, but thankfully that's only episode 7 and everything escalates from there. That's probably where she's at her most timid in the entire show. And that's what defined... That was her defining episode, pretty much. Well, not really, but it's
where she breaks off her little mold.
Yeah. It's where she started to get away from her shyness. But she was still locked in her shyness at this point. And Pinkie Pie was pretty much like, no, Fluttershy's just a bit too soft for what we're planning to do to her. So we need to just not do this.
And go bother someone else?
Yeah. And well, Rainbow Dash is perfectly fine with that. And, yeah. But what's interesting about that is that she learns, she already knows how to keep her mouth shut. How to not go too far with things.
And then Philly Vanilli Pinkie Pie.
And then Philly Vanilli. Right in the beginning of the episode, pretty much, well, right after the theme song, like you have the whole setup for the episode. Fluttershy's just walking around singing the stuff, and then you have all the main six, and then she's like, "Oh crap! I was singing in front of everyone," and then just kind of freaks out, and then everyone's like, "Oh, you should totally go on stage," and well, she's obviously not up for that, and well,
then of course people complain like, "Why is she freaking out about singing like and performing? Didn't she do that before?" Well, maybe she's afraid of the idea. I think.
Well, actually,
isn't it like she's like afraid of like having the spotlight forced on her, like just her
the spotlight on her, I think.
Yeah, she works well with others. Herself, she would crack.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that makes sense now.
So
she's a pansy again for no good reason.
Yeah. So then we have. Then Pinkie Pie shows up and then just makes her feel incredibly uncomfortable, and even though she's clearly showing signs of like, all right, this is too much for me. Just please.
She doesn't shut up.
Please stop talking. She just does not shut up.
Could it just been like an actually funny, dark humor running gag where basically Pinkie Pie's trying to be helpful, but she ends up making Fluttershy feel bad, and she realizes she keeps messing up. It would be dark. It would be kind of dark humor, but hey, like if Pinkie Pie was aware, basically the running gag was she's trying to help, but she keeps messing up. Wouldn't that be okay? Would that be less obnoxious and painful?
I'm not really sure.
Some people would still get annoyed, but hey, it'd be better-ish than Pinkie Pie just completely oblivious.
If she wasn't oblivious the entire episode, it would have been fine. But yeah.
But then again, we're not here to harp on Pinkie there.
Well, it's not even just that one moment. It happens multiple times throughout the episode. Multiple times.
Yeah, okay.
She does not apologize once.
Yeah, then again, once is an accident, twice is on purpose.
And she kind of does it like a third time, but
more subdued.
Yeah.
But Jesus.
At least it wasn't just a whole nother thing, like, after that second time.
Okay, we're really getting off topic here. I know you hate this episode, but come on, I guess. Oh, God.
All right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This episode had so much potential. This episode, Griffon the Brush Off had potential. I will admit that. It had so much potential, and it basically it did a thing better than Philly Vanilli did. Now that's the one thing Philly Vanilli did wrong, Griffon the Brush Off did right.
Oh, hold on. Can I say something before we continue on? Like, I want to make up what I'm trying to say here. I don't hate the episode like he does.
No, he doesn't.
I'm rather indifferent, actually. But the thing is, I can't really take the episode seriously now because of his notorious hatred of the episode.
I'm probably the biggest hater of this episode, but even I will admit that this episode has good moments like that.
But great. I have to admit,
alright, Philly Vanilli does everything perfectly except for Pinkie Pie.
Yeah.
And Griffon the Brush Off does Pinkie Pie pretty much perfectly in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Want to switch them around?
So if you switch them around, Griffon the Brush Off probably
would suck beyond belief.
Yeah, it would probably suck. It would it does suck, but it would probably be unwatchable for me. I mean, I can go back and watch it, but I'm not happy about it. But I can still watch those 7.5 minutes without cringing.
Yeah, alright. So I could probably go back to Magical Mystery Cure as well, but show me Spaghetti Service? No, I'm out the door. I'm out the door. Screw that episode.
Yeah. So if you gave Griffon the Brush Off Pinkie Pie to Philly Vanilli, it would have been almost perfect, if not definitely perfect.
Philly Vanilli would have been an amazing episode.
Philly Vanilli would probably have surpassed Hurricane Fluttershy as my favorite episode. Oh yeah, speaking of Hurricane Fluttershy, the writer of this episode is Cindy Morrow.
This is her first
episode. And it's my least favorite episode in the show. Hurricane Fluttershy is my favorite episode of the show, written by Cindy Morrow. and it's my favorite episode of the entire show.
Well, to be fair, my least favorite is written by both Merriweather and Polsky.
Dave Polsky really shined in season 4, and Merriweather can write villains and, well, two-parters well.
You mean McCarthy?
Whatever. No, Merriweather is...
Merriweather's Merriweather.
Yeah. I got confused for a second. Just disregard everything.
Oh yeah,
I
7
said
minutes
last
later,
27.
after the episode, at what point does everything start going downhill for you?
Approximately 7.5 minutes in. I think it's 7 minutes and 34 seconds, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. The episode starts going downhill the moment Gilda shows up.
Oh, okay.
My least favorite character probably in existence. Probably.
Mm.
Probably in existence.
Not just on the show, but in existence, really?
Maybe. I can't... none really come to mind.
Can I just say this, though?
What?
Be grateful she only has one appearance.
Wrong.
Background appearances don't count.
She was in Equestria Games.
She was a pixel in the background.
Oh, please, she was in it.
However, my least favorite characters will kind of character and her tool
Please.
have multiple appearances.
Well, too bad for you.
I suffer more with those two.
My hate is completely centered on one little black spot in the middle of the great show. It's like, I would probably recommend this show to anyone, if not for this episode. No, I'm just kidding. The show is still recommendable to anyone, but
Yeah.
not this episode.
It just reminds me very, like, if you're actually willing to watch something of this, or you're actually curious, interested.
So,
Whatever.
why exactly do I hate Gilda?
Let's talk.
Well, because she just sucks.
How does she suck? Explain why she sucks.
In song! No, I'm just kidding. That's not why it took forever. You were probably wondering why it took forever.
Yeah,
and I just come out with a song, and then I start singing it. Oh, that's why it took forever, because he was writing that song. But nope.
And of course, this is probably like the first time we see like another, like a different kind of race, like starting like introducing mythological creatures,
Well,
which becomes like a staple in the show.
Manticore.
Well, there's
Sea
that.
serpent. Cows.
Unicorns, pets.
Sheep.
Sheep aren't mythological.
Well,
Well, other than Spike, this is the first time we see like a creature, like a sentient creature outside of the pony race, and she's also the show's first antagonist of sorts.
other than Nightmare Moon.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so... Well, at first, Gilda doesn't seem that bad. She just shows up and is like, who the heck are you, Pinky?
Okay, I gotta admit, I don't hate Gil like you, but I don't think she's that good of a character.
She's not. She just is.
Okay, now, not only don't I like her voice work, her personality is bleh.
To use one of her words, lame.
Oh, no. I also hate her fox, like, cool attitude. Like, I always Ramudash when she tries to act cool, it's actually subtle and endearing. With her, it's just feels forced and just lame. Like, yeah, it really is. It's just not that. It's not like that even like that compelling to me.
Yeah,
It's.
I want.
Say what you want about like characters like like Princess Kate. I can actually tolerate her, and she actually has more personality and flair to her than.
All right, this is
feathers.
probably a bad comparison, but all right, you know who is a better character that kind of that like does the cool dude attitude better than Gilda does? Kevin from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Yeah.
See, that's a much better example.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I mean, he does have his, fun. Yeah, he does have his moments, especially when he gets really angry and just keeps screaming, "Dogs!" to the heavens.
Yeah.
And he's voiced by a chick, no less. Wrap your head around that.
Wait, what?
Kathleen Barr. Yes. 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 I'm not kidding. Look it up.
I'm done.
No, we're not done yet. We're still.
Dang it.
We'll get to her.
Alright.
Her thingy.
But anyway.
And seriously, we're really wasting time.
It doesn't matter. I'm ripping this episode to shreds right now.
Yeah, we'll agree. Gilda sucks.
Yes. Gilda sucks, and there's much better characters who do the exact same thing.
Lightning does.
Yeah. Yeah, Lightning does.
Why doesn't she come back? I want to see her back.
Everyone wants Gilda to come back. Lightning Dust. Lightning Dust is a much better character.
Oh, are you gonna bring out Gilda? Make her better. Like, write her better.
Either write her to where she's tolerable, redeem her, which is risky, or just...
I don't know, more compelling.
Nah.
No, they're not gonna.
No, they're not gonna do
like
that.
Sombra. That'd be pretty. What happens if they actually did? Would you cry tears of joy?
I would 10 out of 10.
Bonus
no
points.
questions asked.
Bonus points if it's Fluttershy.
12 out of 10. 12 out of 10 game of the year.
And she becomes an outcome for it.
Yes.
She proposed her destiny.
No regrets.
For slaying Alec. For slaying.
All right, but enough of. Well, we're here to ramble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's dragging on a bit. So.
Gilda shows up and she's not
really
very fun.
Yeah, Gilda shows up. She's
overly possessive of Rainbow Dash.
Yeah. And, well, Rainbow Dash is like, oh, hey, it's Gilda, and then was, like, introducing her to Pinkie Pie, and then she's like, alright, so, this is Gilda. Okay. Hey, Rainbow Dash, let's do stuff. And Rainbow Dash is like, alright, let's do stuff. And then Gilda's like, okay, let's do stuff. No, we're not gonna do stuff, we're gonna get rid of Pinkie Pie first. And then,
It's just a montage of Gilda being a prick around town.
Yeah.
Pinkie Pie's.
But thankfully, Pinkie Pie did not give up.
Yeah, and she keeps following her around,
Yeah.
and tries to investigate more. Like she's like, maybe I just don't get Gilda. Then it gets to a point
where Gilda's like, all right, you know what? It was fine with you. It was fine with you following around and not doing anything, but you're just trying to butt in with the time I'm spending with Rainbow Dash. So just get out of my face and just let me hang out with Rainbow Dash, alright? And just freaking flings her to the ground or whatever. Well, not literally, but...
Yeah, and there's some more montage of Gilda going around town.
Yeah.
Being...
and then...
Being
and then...
Oh!
No, not that part yet. But... And then... She starts going around town... Freaking...
Stealing...
stealing
stuff.
Half the stuff isn't even legal.
Yeah, she's going around being an illegal crook.
I mean, heck, it goes against, like, freaking moral code, whatever she's doing. She's just, like... She's walking around stealing stuff. She freaking steals food right from a cart.
Foul-mouthing ponies around that just walk by.
Yeah. Like, hey, watch it, I'm walking here. And just...
Yeah, even though she's clearly, like, being a...
Pinkie Pie, though, is trying to remain positive and try to see the good in everything. And that's perfectly fine.
Gilda...
But... Nope. I'm done. I can't do this.
Yes, the moment that breaks you. That fuels your other hatred.
Alright, this is not the exact reason why I hate Gilda. As much as I am a fan of Fluttershy, and as much as I hate Gilda, this is not the reason why. Well, it's part of the reason, but it's definitely not.
What's like number 2 on your list of why you hate Gilda?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then we get
She does something that no person
should ever do. Ever. And Discord got off lucky by doing it later on. Well, because he's Discord.
What you mean in Twilight Kingdom?
Yeah.
Oh, where?
Yeah, Discord got off lucky though, but in his eyes, Gilda cannot escape what she did.
Well, to be fair, she eventually saw that Discord. Well, it wasn't all Discord's fault, and that Tyrek was pretty much controlling him the entire time.
Yeah, Discord pretty much screwed himself and his friends.
Yeah, so she saw that it wasn't entirely all.
Plus, she still forgave
all Discord.
Plus, she still forgave him.
Yeah. But this, she just freaking
roars in Fluttershy's.
She just bumps into Fluttershy when she's minding her own freaking business.
Walking some ducks.
Yeah.
Cute little duckies. The ducks run away in fear.
Yeah, and then she's just like, dude, why'd you freaking get in my way? And then just shouts at her.
Which freaks out Fluttershy. Background ponies do jack. And Pinkie Pie's like...
some hilarious faces, by the way. Alright. If there's one reason why I can't take that scene seriously anymore, is because I noticed some background ponies making some absolutely ridiculous faces. I just can't.
And Pinkie...
Yeah, but seriously, you don't freaking do that. You don't freaking shout at
seriously
like that.
The episode is established. That is like that's pretty much like one of the greatest cardinal sins of the show and the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Never make Fluttershy cry.
Oh, guess what Pinkie Pie did in Philly Vanilli? All right, I will say this. I will say this.
So what if you don't like Fluttershy?
I will say this. Never mind. Alright, I was gonna say... Alright, actually, you know what? Philly Vanilli, Pinkie Pie, and Gilda are on the same level with me. Pinkie Pie's performance in Philly Vanilli is on the same level as Gilda's entire performance in Griffon the Brush Off.
And pretty much the show in general.
Well, Gilda only showed up in Griffon the Brush Off and only as a background character in Equestria games, so... I still hate you for whoever who pointed that out to me, by the way. That ruined the entire episode for me. Not really.
Dude, if Time Terror,
but you still... I'm not... Alright, this isn't me cutting Gilda any slack here. This is terrible. You don't do this.
Face it, people in life are like that.
Yeah, and those people are just obscene word here.
You really want.
No, I don't want to. Wait. Well, yes, I want to. I want to absolutely curse Gilda out here.
But we have restrictions on this channel.
Well,
if we could take them off eventually.
We just have restrictions in real life in general.
Yeah.
Plus, the wiki doesn't allow most obscene words, and well, yeah, swears aren't really that funny unless they're censored. We can't do censors though, so
yes. But we can use some colorful language that isn't exactly swearing though. And no, she just sucks.
She is terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Gilda is terrible. Alright, but moving on from that scene, though, since it depresses me, but...
Yeah, you were about to quit after watching it. I'm like...
No, alright, you know what? First time I watched this, that's about as far as I got. I kept watching for maybe 1 minute, and I just gave up. That was my first attempt at watching it. That was the first time in any episode where I voluntarily was just like, I'm not dealing with the rest of this. It can't possibly get any better after this. But then I'm like, what if it does? So I go back to it and I'm like, no, it doesn't.
That's weird.
It kind of.
The first time I watched Spectator Service,
it gets
I
a little
the whole
bit.
thing.
Yeah, it gets a little bit better, I guess.
But still enough to wipe her away the stigma you have for the episode.
Yeah. So the ending of the episode, well, I was originally not convinced by the ending of the episode, but after going back to it, like my most recent watch, I realized it is at least satisfying to see what happens.
Guild abuse.
Guild abuse. Guild abuse. Yep.
The only reason why I watched the ending of the episode.
That's the only reason why that's the only reason why I stick it out to see the middle. Just so I can get to the glorious end, where she gets tortured. Kind of. But anyway, Pinkie Pie's like, why don't...
I'm gonna love tolerate the beep out of you.
Yeah.
So she throws a party Pinkie Pie style.
Yep. Pinkie Pie style. Yeah, I kind of like that line. Even if it does come from this episode. Yeah. But anyway, so it's pretty apparent throughout the whole party scene that, Gilda walks in and is, still kind of, like, just her average self, just
being a jerk.
Yeah.
Hitting everyone. Racist.
Basically. Yeah.
She's racist. She's a racist to everybody except Flutter.
Ravendash.
Oh yeah, strange thing is, Fluttershy even goes to the place, even though it's hosting the place of the person who just traumatized her earlier.
Yeah.
She's Fluttershy.
Which means
what are you trying to do, mug her?
No.
Mug her revenge? That'd be pretty funny.
What was Fluttershy planning to do?
Yeah, no. Don't mess with the Fluttershies.
No, that's not what she was planning to do. She went there only because, she's forgiving. And that's something we see throughout the series. She's definitely very forgiving, and that's a good quality.
If she wasn't forgiving, she doesn't deserve her element. Period.
Yeah, her element is kindness. I mean,
okay, they don't. Yeah, if people stress for it, main six don't have the perfect representations of their elements.
Fluttershy does a pretty good job, though.
Well, Fluttershy's probably the most consistent with their element.
Other than Twilight.
Well, Twilight's got the easiest.
Twilight's
got the easiest and most overpowered.
It doesn't have anything to do with morals. It's just she shoots stuff out of her horn.
Well, actually, it's more along the lines of friendship or something like that, because friendship is magic.
Yeah.
So therefore, magic is friendship.
Well, she does keep the group together, so I guess that's something. Yeah. But anyway, so at the party, Gilda shows up, and then Pinkie Pie's like, "Here, try a whole bunch of things," and then.
And we get to a great montage of Gilda suffering great abuse.
Yes. There's one moment where
joy buzzer.
Yes, she gets shocked by a joy buzzer, and that's probably my most favorite gif in the entire show. Just her getting shocked.
And the reaction, and the reaction she has after she's electrocuted, and she's like,
in the entire episode that is, but
herb, I'm a chicken.
Yes.
The chicken meme has more dignity than she does.
No.
What?
Yeah, they're about the same.
Whatever.
Chicken is still a dumb meme.
Yeah, and sadly,
screw that meme.
Gilda's getting all paranoid, thinking Pinkie Pie's rigging everything.
Yeah, and while she's eating cupcakes with hot sauce in them or something, and then
so much torture, such gratuitous torture.
Yeah, just average pranks, I guess. And then eventually, Gilda just gets to the point where she just freaking snaps, and then is like, "Pinkie Pie, your pranks are just absolutely terrible.
You suck. Everybody sucks. I don't like any one of you
I don't like
at all.
any of you. Come on, Rainbow Dash, let's get out of here." And then Rainbow Dash is like, "You know what? I pulled those pranks on you. M. Night Shyamalan would be proud."
Or they go, eh. Then again, maybe some typical Shyamalan film, nobody emotes. Ever.
Whatever. But apparently it is Rainbow Dash who pulled all those pranks on Gilda, and Gilda's just like, wait,
I thought you were good at this stuff, and Rainbow Dash pretty much gives Gilda a well-deserved "you suck" speech.
Yeah. And yeah, it's definitely satisfying. But
and Rainbow Dash essentially calls her out, saying I thought this isn't how my old friends would treat my new friends. Maybe you're just better off without me.
Alright, but And then Gilda's basically just like, all right, you know what? I don't need you, Rainbow Dash. I can go. I can just go be by myself, and just
and find friends that are about as cool as me.
Yeah, and yeah, this.
And then she's gone.
That is why Gilda sucks. That is why Gilda sucks.
Take it away.
She would. All right, this is the reason why Gilda is the worst character on the show. She would rather just freaking be a jerk to everyone. Well, except for Rainbow Dash until the end of the episode. She would rather be a jerk to just everyone for no reason and not make any friends at all than bother taking the time to just get to know the people that Rainbow Dash knows. She would rather lose probably her only friend. We don't know anything about Gilda, so it's safe to assume that Rainbow Dash was. It seems to assume that Rainbow Dash was her only friend. So she would rather lose potentially her only friend than make a few, at least a couple other new ones. I mean, really. I mean, just how thick-minded can you possibly be?
And you know what the sad thing is? She doesn't even have the level of charms that people tend to enjoy in a lot of villains or antagonists. She
just does not.
She's an unlikable character.
She's unlikable, and if you relate to her, then I feel sorry for you.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know some people are really got some attitudes, but at least they got some endearing, likable charms about them. Gilda's just a hate magnet.
If you say that Gilda is the most likable character on the show, like the most relatable, then no, I'm sorry. You're either just completely lying or you're an idiot.
I wouldn't say an idiot. Well, I would just be misguided.
No,
misinformed.
Idiot.
Jeez, vitriolic, aren't you?
I hate Gilda.
And I hate Dime Terra.
But anyway, the episode basically, and it kind of ends on that kind of note.
Thinking about gives a good moral-ish, and no more Gilda forever-ish.
Until Equestria Games, and then it's only a background appearance.
Unless she returns in Season 5 or Season 5.
She better not, and if she is, they better do something good with her. They better fix her up right.
Well, do something you will approve of.
Yes. If Gilda comes back, and she's still the same way as before, goodbye, fandom.
And also, because of Gilda...
Nah, I'm not going to leave the fandom.
You have
developed... I'll threaten to. I definitely will.
Also, because of Gilda, he has now developed an undying, somewhat irrational hatred of Griffins. He's turned into a Griffin racist.
Alright. Alright, that part is mostly kind of just me just playing it up. I don't hate all Griffins. I mean, we'll see later on in Mystery on the Friendship Express. We have
a one-shot.
We have Gustav, who's
a dude actually, and Frenchie chef.
Yeah, and he's actually kind of a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, he's a nice guy. I mean, there's nothing really wrong about him.
Well, yeah, sure, of course, he's a vain Frenchman chef cook. But then again, I mean, the French take their food seriously.
I mean, Pinkie Pie antagonizes him for comedic value, but, well, that was the entire point. So.
And let's not to mention those little strange background Griffins that participate in the Equestria Games. That people seem to be shipping the girls together.
Because lesbian ships.
We don't even know who those Griffins are either.
Yeah.
At least their designs are pretty nifty. Oh, and there's a dude, and barely his fan nickname is Gaston.
No one sneaks into other shows and cosplays as another race like Gaston.
Also, if anything, so if things are consistent, there's like a Griffin so far start with a G. Gilda, Gustav, Gaston. I forget what the other two are. I don't think they follow the same thing, or maybe they do. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. But, enough. Alright. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah, he's Griffon the Brush Off. It should die in a fire in this bin.
No, it shouldn't die in a fire. There's some redeeming value in it.
Should it die at ground zero of the Sar Bomba? Star Bomba, the most powerful nuke ever built.
No, you know what? It shouldn't die.
Supernova.
No, stop. Please.
Okay.
Alright. It shouldn't die. If there is a reason for it to exist, it's the first 7.5 minutes. I mean, they could have done...
And the Gilded Boost.
Yeah, that too. But, yeah, the beginning is really enjoyable. The end is satisfying, but the middle is just...
painful.
It's... If the middle was its own episode, it would be unwatchable. But... that's enough for this episode.
Alright, let's...
Yay! I'm free.
Yeah, we might have...
Until we reboot our channel.
Yeah.
With better recording equipment.
And probably the actual last time you talk about the episode.
Yes. This is the last time I talk about it for now, so at least I can rest easy knowing that. But we're not done with this. We still have to talk about Boast Busters.
Yeah, we wasted so much time talking about how much you hate...
Hey, look! We've spent over 41 minutes talking about an episode. What does that sound like? A much better episode. Well, that episode broke our minds, though.
Oh,
but,
and don't forget the other one.
Well, we
The two-parter.
Oh, it's a two-parter.
And how we're
And we actually
utterly fanboying that one.
And we actually never did a two-parter before. We started with Power Ponies. Well, I started with Power Ponies. You started with Philly Vanilla, actually.
Yeah, as a joke, and then I'm like...
Hey, we've come kind of full circle, I guess.
Yeah, we're
Not really, but...
Whatever. But...
All my past reviews still stand before we actually made this a whole thing, but... Anyway.
Yeah, we wasted too much time, complaining
On
about...
the Boast Busters.
Oh, look, a much better episode that people seem to hate.
For some reason.
It has to do with the main six probably being unlikable, and... then again, the hatred episode doesn't usually translate to... the great and powerful Trixie. People find her...
Alright, you know what? I like Trixie.
Yeah, come on. Trixie's fun. Why do people hate her? Isn't her voice too annoying?
Not to Sethisto levels, though. Or however the heck you pronounce his name. Sethisto, I don't know. Seth.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just call him Seth.
Yeah, of course.
From Country Daily.
Yeah, it's the guy who
That
utterly...
guy.
Yeah, pretty much the only reason why Trixie fanfics seem to be everywhere on this.
The only reason why Trixie is...
Has such a huge...
Yeah. Well, the main reason.
Well, also another thing is, she's also the first pony antagonist of the show, like...
Other than Nightmare Moon.
Well, you could assume Nightmare Moon was some sort of like... something like Alice or something like that, because this is back then when people just assumed Celestia and Luna were like some sort of goddesses or something like that.
Yeah.
Which was never the case to begin with, and yet people still perpetuate that headcanon to no end.
Yeah. But... About Trixie, though. I don't see anything wrong with her.
Yeah, people complain she's like too... she find her annoying, like her voice is too grating to listen to.
Alright, you know what I'm gonna compare Trixie to? Well, I don't know if everyone in our audience, all two of you, whoever the heck you are.
Would you describe her as an effeminate version of Gaston?
No, well...
Who was a magician?
Yeah, actually. I kinda compare Trixie a bit to Gaston. I mean...
Effeminate version who does magic.
Yeah.
I mean
the similarities are there.
Well,
I mean, Trixie has Snips and Snails.
Oh yeah, the two male ponies that everyone hates because they're supposed to be the male representations of the show.
Yeah, and then
they're idiots.
Gaston has...
It has LeFou.
Yeah.
But at least LeFou is actually more tolerable than Snips and Snails.
Yeah, I'd say that LeFou's better than Snips and Snails. Alright, if there's one thing that I don't really like about this episode is Snips and Snails. I never really liked them as anything, actually.
Well,
they're pretty down there on my least favorite characters list. Gilda's still rock bottom.
And yeah, like I said, they also get really hate from a lot of the guys in the show because they're supposed to be the representations of
that
males on the show.
That was a thing early on where the show kind of hinted at frowning upon guy things.
Well, because the show's got an old lead female cast, and Lauren Foss is a somewhat of a feminist.
Yeah.
But the show shows somewhat fair treatment for males and females. It's more female oriented.
Yeah.
Then again, if you actually do research on horses, females are actually more leaders, if anything, instead of a stallion.
Well,
it's just people always assume.
This is a cartoon.
Yeah, also it's a cartoon. But yeah.
But that is interesting.
Yeah, but why the show keeps using snips and sales other than just just for laughs? Yeah.
Well, they're the stupid comedic relief.
Yeah, even though the show clearly has a lot of different males that we can use. Big Macintosh, Shining Armor.
Discord,
yeah.
Or bring Blue Blood back.
Oh, Blue Blood, no him. I'd rather...
Nah.
I'd rather...
No one's going to.
Well...
And I know it.
Yeah, well, what's Soren, Mr. K, get fancy pants?
Soren.
Stephen Magnet! Iron Will!
Yeah, why doesn't Stephen Magnet come back? I mean,
you can still get a lot.
I mean, he shares a voice actor with Snips, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Just have him. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, heck. I don't know. I don't know where I was.
Then again, how can you really use Stephen Magnet? You got probably something rarity.
Who knows? Who cares? Just put him in.
Or there's also Cheese Sandwich and Brayburn.
Well, it would be. I don't know how hard it would be to get Weird Al back since he was the one who expressed interest in the show and wanted to do it himself. But he is a very popular person, so...
If they got John Delancey to return his Discord occasionally, I don't see Weird Al...
he wanted to do that, but Weird Al is a musician. I'm pretty sure he has concerts and all that kind of thing.
So does Ashley Ball. In the Kraber family.
Never mind.
I just defeated his arguments.
All right. You know what? Bring Weird Al back for a cheese sandwich.
But please, no shipping. Seriously, don't.
No shipping in the show. Unless it's parody. Or Shining Armor and Cadence.
Cherry Mac.
Or Cherry Mac.
Flutter.
Not Cheer Shy.
That was a joke, for crying out loud.
He ships Chirizhai. I ship Twistilus, alright? That's Twist and Queen Chrysalis.
Dude, I can't believe what Cherishai is a joke.
Alright, you know what's dumber than Twistilus, though? Colrec. Colgate and T-Rex.
That's just even more absurd.
No, it's absolutely absurd.
And
that's why I ship it.
I'm pretty sure Colgate and T-Rex were on screen at the same time.
Yeah, I think they were. Therefore shipping.
Yes, fandom logic. Male and female characters are standing next to each other. Therefore, they must like each other.
Or any character, really. I mean, heck, Lyra and Bonbon are getting shipped together. Well, have always been shipped together because they were on the bench next to each other.
And there's Vinyl Scratch and Octavia. Those two have never been seen together.
Yeah, they're both musicians.
And apparently they're opposites, according to their fan personalities.
Meh.
In the music they work with.
Oh, whatever. But yeah. But enough about all of that crap and back to Trixie. Or back to Boast Busters in general, actually. Do you just want to talk about the episode now?
Yeah, I actually admit the episode's actually. I think the episode's actually one of the actual bad episodes of this show. Like the first, episodes people don't have a high opinion about.
What, like one that's generally considered one of the worst? You mean?
Like one of the least liked episodes.
I hear.
Well, a lot of the MP analysis have a disdain towards the episode, even though it never translates to actual hating Trixie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
it's like
pretty clearly some fanboys Trixie.
Yeah.
Rarity.
And well, there's really nothing bad about the episode.
And
well,
And it's also, and it's
nothing
also,
bad about Trixie, rather.
Then again, there's a lot of hypocrites throughout the episode, and it's really goofed up moral.
Yeah.
People are complaining that Trixie is a show-off with her magic, even though it's like the magician's job to do that.
Yeah. So, anyway, the episode basically starts off with... Well, it actually kind of jumps right in, doesn't it?
Yeah, and of course, there's some...
Well, Twilight and Spike, I think, are just talking about some random whatever. And then, pretty much immediately, Snips and Tails just run straight in and like, oh, look, we're gonna go see Trixie, and, what? And then, so they go see Trixie.
Yeah, like, the only people who were really harping on Trixie are just Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash for some reason.
Yeah, Fluttershy's nowhere to be seen. Neither is Pinkie Pie.
Yeah. And Twilight, since, starts getting a little paranoid that she thinks that basically she uses her magic excessively, people are gonna think she's a show-off.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, that's one thing that kind of bothers me about the episode. Twilight,
it's bad I think the real problems with the episode is bad context.
Yeah. It's like, Twilight, who's usually very observant of situations and can figure out what's going on, like really well, sees that Trixie is just using her magic to show off, but for some reason she doesn't really get the idea that this is something to worry about, but not in this situation, I would say.
I think the thing is, I think they should be complaining like, your magic's great now. What makes your magic so unique? Yeah, like, what are the criticisms? What are the criticisms just like, it's just her just using magic to show off? It's just like, why couldn't...
that's kind of what they were doing, though. Like Rainbow Dash is showing off her
flight capabilities.
Yeah, and Applejack is showing off her rodeo capabilities. Rarity just does dresses or something, I don't know. And Trixie decides to be a bit of a prankster and pretty much just turns all that stuff on her head. All their heads, actually. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of... What?
Yeah, but no, like, the episode's basically saying, like, you use magic to show off, you therefore suck.
Well, the episode isn't really saying that. It's saying that...
It's bad context. It's kind of implying it.
Well, it's like... Alright, how do I put this? Alright, Trixie was using her magic to show off. She was blatantly doing that.
Yeah, but she wasn't doing it dishonestly, though.
She was just doing it to make her audience laugh, and, well, she's a performer. I mean, heck, if you have a captive audience, like, they're entertained by what you're doing. Like, there's really nothing bad in that, but she is kind of just...
Well, she's petty and vain about her capabilities and stuff.
Yeah, she's just like... she's entertaining her audience. That's nothing bad for her, but the problem is she's basically saying, none of you are better than me, which is... No, that's not good.
She says, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's an exact quotation.
And yet the episode is determined to put Pink Trixie in the wrong.
Yeah. Well, she kind of is, but she kind of isn't. I mean, all right. Well, like I was saying, yes, she is in the wrong for saying that she's better than everyone else, but she's not in the wrong in the way she does it to make her audience laugh, and that's what she came for. To make her audience entertained.
Yeah, she's just a flimmer, bro. She's not trying to swindle anyone. She's just trying to amuse people, for crying out loud.
Yeah. But her whole mentality is wrong. Good intentions, but... No. Bad intentions, but kind of a good execution.
Mm.
It's kind of like... It's kind of like Leap of Faith in a way. Where they're being kind of... where the Flim Flam brothers were being kind of just like...
Well, there's something that's honest.
Our product can do anything. And everyone who drinks it believes whatever it does works. And so it kind of works in that sense, but there wasn't really anything wrong with the lie at that point, but but until Granny Smith tried to jump off the high dive, kill herself,
and realize this false happiness is actually going to hurt someone.
Yeah, and that's the moment where it goes too far. If they kept it at the base level, not going to extremes like that.
The episode's moral would have just flopped on itself, kind of like how Boast Busters' moral kind of flopped on itself.
Boast Busters' moral is basically just don't
be modest.
Yeah, be modest and don't brag.
Yeah, but then again, like I said, that context, the episode's you can actually interpret it as if you try to even show up at all, people are gonna hate you for being a show off.
Yeah, and like if you show off your skills, then that's bad. That's basically what the episode is kind of implying with Twilight Sparkle, what she's thinking.
And plus, the other...
Which is kind of confusing, because I would think that she would be able to correctly figure out, no, that's... It's not a bad thing if you're showing off, if you're showing off your abilities, but if you're showing off your abilities just to boost your own ego, then that's not good.
You know what? But then again, with Trixie, basically with her involvement in the episode, she's really just a designated villain. We're supposed to not like her, but then again, what's her real offense is? Just being petty? That's not really a offense. It's just, It's Snips and Snails who are basically the biggest perpetrators of the episode, causing trouble and ruining everything.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's kind of them who just who seem to boost pretty much Trixie's ego the most.
They're the ones because they're pretty much the biggest supporters of her.
They hear, Trixie defeated the Ursa Major. Oh, well, we believe it.
Well, because Trixie claimed she beat one before.
Yeah.
So they try to lure what's supposed to be Ursa Major,
and end up bringing it into town, and then
Trixie can't do squat.
Yeah. Well, she admits she can't do squat. She admits her mistake, and that's good.
And Twilight comes in and basically shows her what real magic is and all that stuff. Basically, gets rid of the Ursa Major, which actually turns out to be Ursa Minor.
Yeah.
But I don't get it. Why wasn't that an Ursa Major? I mean, it looks like a full-grown bear anyway. Why is it supposed to be some sort of baby bear? And
well, I guess they just wanted to kind of do the whole just
what the twist.
Yeah, I just think they wanted to add an extra twist in there just for comedic value.
Yeah, and sadly, the Ursa Major looks ugly as heck.
Well, stay cute, Ursa. I mean, you wouldn't want to see that running up to you, do you?
Good point. I'd rather crap myself in hide.
I mean, Twilight would not be able to do that. Well, at that point in Boast Busters, I mean, she could barely vanquish the Ursa Minor, right?
Yeah, and by the time
if there was an Ursa Major,
then you probably need you probably need an alicorn or two to stop that.
Yeah. Nah.
Or just have a good strategy and defeat the monster without causing too much mayhem.
Yeah. So Twilight the whole time was basically just, she was figuring out the whole thing about Ursa Majors and Ursa Minors and stuff, and just, she knew what to do, so she did it.
Even though
she didn't really glorify herself or anything, and that was perfectly fine.
Yeah, she just fixed up the situation.
The problem with Trixie though is that she glorified herself, but Twilight for some reason thought that even without over glorifying herself that she would be doing something bad, which doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, again,
it's like Twilight should be smart enough to know the difference.
Well, then again, she's trying to deal with social issues, not logical things, because social ideals don't tend to be logical. Modern music.
Nah, whatever. But this episode is kind of confusing, but I still enjoy most of it.
It's not...
other than Snips and Snails, who can just...
Oh, yeah, and Oh yeah, the people. Yeah, they find out that it's their fault, and how they get punished? Mustaches.
Yeah, that part is kind of.
Yeah, they got off too easy. They should have at least got a big scolding, if anything. And they apologize. And sadly, this is where Trixie's.
Well, they did. They did apologize for it. At least they knew that they did something terrible.
And they needed a better punishment. Not death or murder or jail or anything like that. Maybe like a community service or something like that.
Yeah, the whole thing about we deserve whatever punishment you give us, and well, they didn't give much of a punishment. They deserved.
That's more like rewarding them.
Yeah, they
oh yeah, that's a good idea. Reward the idiots who pretty much caused the mess.
Yeah. Yeah, I can. All right, you know what? I can see why people don't really like it. I mean, yeah, it has issues. It's. I wouldn't really. All right, you know what? That isn't really forgivable for being an early on episode. Like, well, you should always try to do good writing from the get go.
Yeah, but good thing that they kind of picked up with some stuff later on.
Yeah, mid season.
Yeah, when you even tackle some even more complicated like issues and stuff.
Yeah, but.
Boast Busters.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of.
Like if you like it, hate if you hate it.
Yeah. And you're kind of entitled to your own opinion on that.
As long as your opinion is fair.
Yeah. As long as you have a fair opinion. Which no one on the internet does. Why are we talking?
Meh.
Alright.
So yeah, the episode's biggest sins, bad context, and hypocrisy.
Yeah. People generally seem to say that Trixie's a pretty nice character, though.
Yeah, there's a reason why she's so darn popular anyway.
And well,
she even gets an episode.
She returned.
Yeah, I want to see Trixie come back, and heck, she's practically been getting like more attention, spotlights, toys, comics, even the Question Girls movie, and even Rainbow Rock. She's probably gonna have a big.
She's probably gonna have a bigger role in Rainbow Rocks.
Hey, if the stars didn't get anything.
Yeah, she has a bigger role in the shorts than she did in the entire Equestria Girls, so she might have a bigger role in Rainbow Rocks. For all we know.
Yeah.
Whenever that comes out.
I like to see Trixie come back, especially like after the events of her latest appearance, Magic Duel.
Yeah, which we'll get to.
Eventually.
But that's enough for now. I'm finally. Well, for now, I'm done.
You're free of that episode, and we finally get.
Well, I'm free of it for now, and well, yeah.
It's funny how we basically we're more straightforward Boast Busters.
Well.
Yeah, we have such cute priorities.
Whatever. But that's enough for now. I still hate Griffon the Brush Off, and there is nothing you people can do to convince me. Is that okay with all of you? No? Too bad.